Hello. It's really late today, but I'm here. Just still working away at this a little bit. Trying some color variations for the hair, mainly. It's basically the main focus right now, is making sure the hair is kind of what I want it to be. And my team as a whole were like, we kind of like the dark hair idea that I originally put forward in the first stage concepts, so I'm gonna go back and try it. This is slightly more complicated than it seems. Weirdly, if it was purely a recolor, that would be the easiest thing in the world. But it's not purely a recolor because the values change when I do this. So I'm just going to go in and first of all, align all of this properly, right? So that it's not creating stuff where there isn't. Because that kind of weird fuzziness is what we don't want. Your eyes can basically tell when I've cut corners too significantly. So I can cut some corners, but I have to be very careful about how significantly the corner has been cut. Well, you'll see it, and that will suck. Like, that's just not the outcome we want. It's kind of handy because none of the details actually change, right? We're not changing anything. I'm just going over stuff I've already done, so that means all of the work I did to create the hair is still there. Okay. When we go over, take whatever our bright color is. We just paint over a little bit. So the light's coming from this direction, right? So I want to build up a little bit more of a highlight on that side where the light should be coming in from. Need to fix some of that up. Ah! Well, hello there. Alright, how are you, Monsieur Chaos Reigns? It could be worse. Sounds like you're at least in reasonable humor, which I will take. I'm dumb. Let me just shift this down. There we go. just clip it to the layer below. Well, have you considered that it perhaps should be? Uh-huh. If in doubt, add more dragons. Actually, let's just be a little more tight with this anyway. Okay. Do we think it looks better with the black hair? Well, you could do a dragon and a little dragon. Okay. Oh, lost. There we go. Okay. Blonde hair, black hair. Which is better? Oh, they should be fine. Stop raising wimps to be adventurers. Which numbers? I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah, it's an adjustment layer, so we're going to play with it now. Part of me feels like it looks more detached from it now. Of course, there is a... I mean, that is also a potential, right? Really dark. I'm not sure a darker shade of blonde works better. Or anything like it doesn't really have the presence it's supposed to. Then there's like that. Yeah, they could deal with 2. Or have 3 and fight each other. Okay, heck it, we're just gonna do it this way. Wondering what I'm doing. I am basically making an array of head options. So I can compare them directly in isolation when I need to. Okay, 3 heads. I'm going to label them. Just going to collate them together. One, 2, 3. I need to make that pen larger if I want to do this. I know, I saw. Just have 3 and have them fighting each other. Yeah, but surprise them! Make them regret not over-preparing. If they die, they should have been better. Or ambush them with the dragon, that's also fun. I disdain your generosity as a DM. Your players should be weeping. Weeping, I say. This one. How are you still in the tutorial? What? We've been in that tutorial forever. What the flip? I maintain the tutorial shouldn't be the adventure. The tutorial should be by the time they've learnt the rules. Then all bets are off. Yeah, but just like take the kid gloves off. You don't have to play through the whole tutorial as the DM. You can just be like, great, now we're moving into it not being tutorials time anymore. Now if you make stupid mistakes, you get stupidly punished for them. Well, they might want short sessions, but that... Monsieur Chaos Reigns. Do I need to take you to DM school? Also, what whims? Short sessions. Cowards! Cowards! Okay, so you're using a pre-made adventure. Yes. Yeah, but if you're DMing short sessions, you're DMing short sessions, right? Like it. There's kind of a harsh reality to if your players want short sessions, you get short sessions. So then it's about if you're playing a long session pre-made, that's obviously not going to work out, right? So you have to adapt it to function for what you're trying to make it do. Which is tough, I will admit. One of the big things you need to do is like, why is it they're taking so long? What is it within that systematic approach that is taking too long for them? Is it that they are struggling with combat? Is it that they are aiming to roleplay more than you expected? Like what's the kicker in essence? What's the thing that's causing these what should be pretty rapid story movements to not occur? Because there's something, right? There is something within your process that isn't working. So now it's about A, finding what that is, and B, sorting that in some way that is productive for you. Okay, but don't worry about that. Okay, so this is maybe DM lesson 2. It's not your job to make them good at the game. Yeah, that's fine, but there's ways to manage that. And similarly, like, Surprise LP is great. You can cut things to make space for that. You can... If you take things as less literal with the pre-made as well, and I don't know quite how you approach it, but if you think of it instead of like a story you're following, it's a set of key moments you're following instead. So if you want to bridge those gaps, do that. Like if they're not engaging positively with certain things, including combat, cut it. Like, be very liberal with going, yeah, this doesn't work. But also, you have to look at your players and see how they want to play, right? If they are struggling with combat, and that's fine and very normal, right? Like, a lot of people struggle with combat. Pathfinder has quite complex combat as well. But if that's happening, that's something that's not working. So, what's the reason they're struggling with combat? Because there will be a reason, right? It's not just, oh, they struggle with combat because they're bad at games. So there could be part of it, I suppose, but there'll be something specific. They might do, but stick to the focus point for now, which is what is the struggle? What is the hard thing for them? What's the thing that's stopping them when they shouldn't be, when they should be succeeding? Because you're saying like you're trying to teach them strategies. Is the problem that they are not very strategic, for example? And therefore strategic combat encounters are maybe not the solution. Like what... If we consider... Okay, I'm going to quickly write this out. If we consider D&D combat to be a triangle, right? Luck, decision, and build. Okay. That is all that RPG combat tends to be. Not always. This is about their dice rolls. There's not much we can do about that. If they just are really unlucky all the time and they roll a bunch of natural ones, then combat's going to be hard, right? There's no solution to that problem. Agreed? So luck is what we put in the category of what I would call uncontrolled variables. There is no control of the luck variable. You can change DCs. Kinda. Build is their character builds. Their weapons, their abilities. That also can affect things quite heavily. Do they have good character builds or do they have bad character builds? Are they well suited for the situations they're finding themselves in? Are they badly suited for the situations? Yeah, but then lower all your DCs. Like, if the big problem in combat is they're really unlucky, literally go and adjust them all down by 2. Like, the solution here is change... I think pen is useless. Just fine line. Change core maths. That is the solution to the problem. Similarly, build help them. Items is the general way to do this. Stat items can also help. Feats, like feat granting stuff, those can help. Right? If it's their build that is the problem, you either direct them to better builds, or you change. You can also change style of encounter. That's not a nice way to spell encounter. If their builds are really bad against casters, just push less casters at them if they're really struggling with that combat. Like, that's a solution you can take. You're allowed. The last category, and I will need your clarifications on these things to know if we're in the right direction or the wrong direction, and what kind of direction we should be in and shouldn't be in. In essence, the last decision point, the way you can affect that yeah, shopping sessions are fine. Level up sessions are a bit of a pain. Okay, if the builds are improved, that's fine, but again, changing style of encounter is kind of more important than just changing builds. Last thing with decision, if they are making bad decisions, remove choices. Or remove nuance from those choices. We'll do an example in a minute, but where would you say on my triangle of doom, if this is like the ideal center point for an encounter? This is how everyone should deal with an encounter, right? They have a good build, their luck is pretty standard, not like a couple of natural 20s, a couple of natural 1s, all the good stuff, but like self-contained, and then decision making is solid. Now, if their problem, we're going to shift the problems around, right? So if their problem is all the way up here and it's just build, but they make good decisions and they have good luck, change the builds. If it's down here and they make terrible decisions but their luck is fine and their build is fine, yeah. If they're down here and it's just they're really unlucky, change the core maths. That's the only thing you can do. We want them to be here. Like, if they are here, this is the biggest change, but also the least drastic problem. So, for example, I'm not joking with your dragon encounter. It is probably better if you have one dragon. Yeah, but they can do the random thing they want to do. But no, it doesn't slow things down. If you want to keep moving the story on, cut it. Like, that's fine. They're doing this cool RP thing, which means this other thing doesn't need to happen anymore. You don't have to give them every encounter. They don't have to come across everything. Maybe sometimes when they're drinking the weird thing, it doesn't do anything. Maybe sometimes it does. But also keeping in your brain that it's a tutorial, I think, is the wrong thing. Like, a tutorial is them learning to play the game. They have now learned. You are now just in the game. This isn't a tutorial level. It's not a video game, right? You can bring in greater consequence. This can be the world now. If they want to spend a year in the town, that's fine. The world will move on without them. Like, don't be afraid. Like, if we're on this world map and there's a continent here and a continent here and a continent here, and they're in this little city here, and your big bad evil guy is over here, they can spend as much time as they want, like walking all around here, going down here, coming back up, doing all of this, and then eventually they'll make it here. You can let that take as long as you want, but also, well, maybe stuff in the world changes. Fine. Maybe encounters they could have had in the fixed story session because of the way the story progresses. I know. I'm just saying in this case. It's an example. But it's like, okay, well, stuff is happening in the town. We'll use your town. Right? The town doesn't stop because your players... Like, you can go, if they're spending loads of time doing stuff, other stuff happens. They will lose opportunities in the encounter that they won't play. Like, it's fine to do that to progress the plot. They don't have to experience it all A, in a linear order, and B, at all. That's fine, but you're worried about the pacing. So it's like, well, cut the things that don't work for them, and then you're fine. So, yeah, they're struggling with combat, and they like random RP. Well, maybe take away some of the structured RP. For example, if they're not engaging with that. Or they might enjoy combat, but maybe have, again, more straightforward combat more often, rather than big set-piece combats less often. And again, give yourself help. And opportunities. If we have Dragon 1, and all it is, let's say it's a party of 5, can't remember how many it actually is, it's a party of 5 versus a dragon. Basically, this is down to, do they make good choices, do they roll well? And does Dragon make good choices, does Dragon roll well? And you control that dragon, and that's fine. But where I really wasn't joking with have another dragon is like, if I have a second dragon here, and it's versus both of them, you as the DM now have the power to go, these two are going to start squabbling. Okay, well, if they are afraid of taking damage, you either need to break them of it, or they need to get over themselves. Like, there's no... You take damage in RPGs. You're designed to take damage in RPGs. You can't prompt them to do that, so just hurt them. Okay, then remove your enemy's ability to crit. If you're rolling too well, remove it. Impose disadvantage. Like, whatever you need to do. Yeah, they do. Like, you have to stop being so nice. Design your encounter with the purpose that it will be a challenge, but like, you don't need to be like, yeah, they're not going to take damage in the encounter, or they're going to take forever because they're worried about it. Just like, okay, well, if you're going to take forever, I'm going to kill a PC. That's how this goes. If you're going to stand around and there's just, say there's one dragon again. There's just one dragon in this room, and you're spending all this time trying to kite it and not take damage, it is going to breath weapon all of you. Get over yourselves. Right? Like, if this is the encounter, give yourself space for that if you need to, right? If your space is... I wasn't joking, you have a juvenile dragon here. We'll have another juvenile dragon of a different type. Perhaps sleeping in another room, caught in an arcane trap, any kind of thing. And then you have the option. So let's say this is your encounter now. You have the juvenile dragon with your mushroom spores. So I'm going to call it M, and I'm going to call this T for trapped. And this is in a runic trap. Let's say 2 different chromatic dragons. So this will be a green, this will be a blue. Cool, they hate each other. Now your D&D encounter has become great. If they start taking too long to kill this dragon, its breath weapon is going to splash and destroy a piece of the floor, which is going to free this dragon, and now there are 2. And if the parties start being in serious trouble, they hate each other, your dragons can fight each other. Now you've designed an encounter that is significantly more dynamic, is a lot more fun for you as the DM, which gives you a lot more control, and is less bloody stupid. Okay, change the plot. Like, why not change it? That's a genuine question. Like, why is it being part of the plot a problem? You don't have to follow the plot. Any plot, actually. You've got to make sure you're making an environment where you can have fun. In simple form. And you're not right now. Like, I can hear that in the way you are talking about it. Which is, you're talking about having to... Like, you want to get through the story. Cool. I mean, difficult as DM, because it's not really your choice of speed, and that is always going to be the case. But you definitely need to figure it out a bit, because there is a problem here in how you are thinking. And part of it is that you are far too... worried about changing things that should just be changed. Like, you really do have to work with what you've got, and what you've got at the moment is not enhanced by your players. Which is miserable for you. And we don't want that. We definitely don't want that. That's like the worst outcome. Well, that's positive. I mean, it's already good if you're having fun. That is the most important part of all this. Part of me wonders there's not enough brocade on this jacket, and then the other part of me goes, there's so much brocade on this jacket. But then genuinely, if you've ever seen a hussar's jacket, it's kind of ridiculous. Let's add a little more gold. There is in terms of design. Would I have less brocade on my jacket in real life? No. Will I design less brocade on a jacket because it's not an ideal situation? Possibly. Is that possibly slightly a lie because there's never too much brocade on a jacket? Possibly. Do I think anyone that complains about too much brocade on a jacket is a coward? Yes. Yes, I do. Yeah, I don't know if that works though. Honestly, I don't know why I've hand painted a hussar's jacket when I could have just... Part of me always feels really dumb. Because I'm like, why did I not just photo bash it in the first place, right? Because genuinely... I can recolor this. Wait. I don't even need to do that much recoloring, I don't think. Good, you got yourself before I timed you out. Well done. No, that's actually not right, is it? Because that slopes down more. It's more there, isn't it? Maybe I just need the brocade. Right? Maybe that's all I actually need from this. Too much. Way too much. Oh dear. Oh really? Are they're not doing what they should be? Were you supposed to take them with a meal or something? As in, did you take with a meal? Are you supposed to? Okay. Oh, you did mention it. That's true. It's not great though. You shouldn't really have to be upping medication very often, so it's a slight concern. Okay. Ta-da! That is a lot of extra brocade, isn't it? We. Yeah. I wonder, that's actually an idea. And this does need to be an extra layer. Very importantly, this will need to be an extra layer. Let's be a little bit more direct. How dastardly French of your Chaos Reigns. No, I don't know if the little tail works. YouTube's propensity to pause itself is really irritating. I also sometimes do realise I probably shouldn't have 38 tabs open. But if I'm doing that, I may as well do it here, right? That's the thing. No, I don't think it works. Yeah, but on the streaming computer, which is a laptop. My main computer has 77, but... Let's deal with some of the other feedback very quickly. One of the important ones was that arm was not long enough, and I agree, that arm was not long enough at all. You should close those. That's too many. Even I think that's too many. That's actually an abomination. Criminal. Flat out criminal. So we're gonna do all that. Yeah, that should be fine. The fingers go down like there. Yeah, it was a little much. That's good. Fire. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? I'm actually very slightly. Yeah, that's a bit better. Yeah, that's kind of fine. Just leave that. This step is called me messing around. Yeah, my mic is on. I think. Can you hear me? Hmm. Yeah, no, it's working. I'm gonna remove this for now. Yeah, I'm focusing because I need to finish soon, but I've got a lot still to do, as you can see, on getting these color variations in place. Good, I'm proud of you. Basically, the plan with this, by the way, is these I will show to people and be like, which colorway works best for you guys? I should actually. I do actually believe that works quite well. Be at least one more. Those. Let me turn that layer off completely. Actually, for posterity's sake, I should just grab the color I do use currently. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. Thank you for hanging out. Get more feedback on this. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with the leg. I think it needs more. But for now, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.